In this video, we're going to talk about the meaning behind father figure, how it might be inspired by more than just a simple power dynamic between father and son, and how it could reflect one of Taylor's most personal relationships in the music industry. First of all, Taylor made it very clear what inspired this song. She says she was inspired by a power dynamic between a protege and a mentor.
And sort of the idea that the power could flip and somebody could betray somebody, that's so fun to write.
And it's written from the mentor's perspective to the protege, even though she relates more to the protege.
Is a song about power, a song about a protege and their mentor.
For Spotify, she said this song is about sort of the idea of the tables turning and the flipping of the script, almost sort of like the son versus the father.
I always wanted to create a song that really explained how those roles can shift over time. I kept thinking about that scene in Succession where Logan looks at his kids and says, "I love you, but you are not serious people."
I love you, but you are not serious people.
I just think it's one of the coolest scenes ever, and I was like, I want to write a song that has that energy of sort of Logan Roy being like, you bit the hand that fed you, and you do not possess the vernacular to be doing this.
And in the demo, she said,
it's all leading to a battle between like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker.
Exactly. Or Darth Vader and...
This is important to point out, because one of the best things about this new era is that Taylor is once again taking control of the narrative behind her songs. Now, many fans, myself included, can't help but see this song as a possible parallel to her professional relationship with the owner of her former record label, Scott Borchetta, who was a father figure in the music industry to her for many years. In this song, Taylor says it's from the perspective of the mentor, who in this case could be someone in the music industry, possibly a mentor or an executive, who is allegedly taking care of his protege, demanding only loyalty in return. To sum it up, Taylor and Scott met in 2004 when she was 14 years old and performed at a Nashville bar called Bluebird Cafe. With her guitar and a demo of songs she had written, Scott was looking for a young artist to launch his own independent record company, Big Machine Records. So he saw potential.
I saw potential.
He was impressed with Taylor's songwriting and her voice, and he offered her a record deal in 2005 that lasted until 2018. But as you know, he never allowed her to buy her own music once the contract ended. Instead, he offered her a one-album-for-one-album deal, meaning she'd have to record a new album to regain one of her old ones. For example, giving up her 7th album to win her first, and so on. Basically, his ambition made him take foolish decisions. Then, she found out online that Scott Borchetta had sold her masters to Scooter Braun, a man Taylor didn't get along with and whom she considered a bully.
Nobody in your inner circle
Nobody knew.
and you didn't smell it.
No. I knew he would sell my music. I knew he would do that. I couldn't believe who he sold it to, because we've had endless conversations about Scooter Braun.
As Taylor says in the song, and he sold them for $300 million.
And he has 300 million reasons to conveniently forget those conversations.
You wanna fight, you found it.
Eventually, Taylor left the label, and thanks to the Eras Tour and a clause in her contract that allowed her to re-record her music after 5 years, she created the famous Taylor's versions. By replacing her own catalog, with the help of her fans, she even managed to devalue the original versions. And in May 2025, she announced that she had bought all of her master recordings. If you want the full, detailed story about Taylor's masters, I'll leave you a video about it. In her 2019 Tumblr letter, where she spoke for the first time about her legal battle to regain her masters, she referred to Scott Borchetta by saying, "This is what happens when you sign a deal at 15 to someone for whom the term loyalty is clearly just a contractual concept." And in a 2019 interview with Rolling Stone, Taylor said, "When you have a business relationship with someone for 15 years, there are going to be a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but I truly, legitimately thought he looked at me as the daughter he never had. To go from feeling like you're being looked at as a daughter to this grotesque feeling of, oh, I was actually his prized calf that he was fattening up to sell to the slaughterhouse that would pay the most. About the line, I can make deals with the devil because my is bigger, it really reminds me of a line from Succession.
Sometimes it is a big competition.
Wait, did she just say that?
Yeah.
Yes, you know, it's entertainment.
Yes.
It's my one job. But,
Yeah.
you know, the spice level on this album is high.
Yeah, it is.
Now, some fun facts about this song. Taylor credited George Michael as a co-writer, not just for the interpolation. That means the royalties from the song go directly to his family. Since George Michael didn't own his masters either, just like Taylor, George also battled his record company, Sony Music, suing them in 1992 over his contract and claiming the company regarded him as no more than a piece of software, according to the BBC. George felt he had no control over his art and was trapped in a kind of professional slavery. He tried to free himself from that contract, a lawsuit that gained massive attention because if he had won, it could have opened the door for other artists to do the same. He lost, and it deeply affected his career. So, crediting him alone is also a way to pay tribute. Throughout the song, Taylor repeats, I protect the family 6 times. Coincidentally, there were 6 masters she was fighting to win back. When she says, I feel like she's referring to all of Taylor's platinum records that used to hang in that company. The song also includes the line, You'll be sleeping with the fishes, which might sound familiar if you've seen the Godfather movies, referring to the iconic line, Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
That means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Taylor says this song has one of her favorite key changes she's ever done.
And I'm really proud of this one too. It has one of my favorite key changes that I've ever done in a song. So look for that in the end.
Again, it doesn't mean that's what the song is about. This was my interpretation of Father Figure. The first time I listened to it, Taylor's master story was the first thing that came to mind. It's such a well-crafted song. I really feel like it transports you to the aesthetic Taylor wanted to project. What do you think of this song? Let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, stick around to find more Easter eggs about the life of a showgirl. And let me know in the comments which other song I should talk about next. If you made it this far, if you enjoy this kind of content, it would mean a lot if you showed your support for the channel with a thumbs up and by subscribing. You can also join to get badges, stickers, and your name in the credits. I talk about Taylor, theories, Easter eggs, the Eras Tour, and sometimes other artists I love. Thank you for being here.
All too pink.